You are watching AYV Television.
Right, indeed. Good morning, Freetown. Good morning, Sierra Leone. And hearty welcome to the program Wake Up Sierra Leone, live on the Africa Young Voices television. You're also hearing us on radio this morning on 101.7. I am Victor Jones.
And I am Phoebe Swiel. So whether you're watching us or listening to us this morning from anywhere in the provinces or here in Freetown on channel 33 or even on our DSTV platform on channel 399 from across Africa or the rest of the world, we say a pleasant morning to you and a warm welcome to today's program.
Indeed, you can also watch us online on Facebook. We are broadcasting there. AYV News. We're also on TikTok this morning and also on YouTube. Wherever you're watching us from on this beautiful day, it's the 17th day in the month of August 2026. As usual, we are broadcasting from the top of Tar Hill, the heart of this beautiful city. We have a lot of stories actually to cover this morning and topics to discuss here on the program.
As always, we encourage your feedback and input into the conversation. All you have to do is join the comment section of AYV News Facebook page.
Indeed, and coming up with barely 2 years to the 2028 general elections, there are an estimated 12 aspirants vying to become the presidential candidates of the main opposition, All People's Congress Party. One of them is businessman Sheikh Mohammed Omodu Kamara, better known as Jagaban.
We'll bring you all of these and more in the program. Before we delve deeper into what's coming up, we'll get a word from our sponsor, Wakeup Commercial Bank, which will be followed by other advertisers. Please stay with us.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like a Wakeup SIM couple.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Wakeup SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users. You see, it's fast, safe and reliable.
Morning. Ria, give me 30 Leone top up. Thank you. Hello, babe. How you dey do? Talk to Uba.
Hello? Hello?
Don't settle for a provider that cuts into your data and airtime.
Ria, give me all the 30 Leones.
AfriCell gives you full value. AfriCell, now we network.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I can take money, 2 MoneyGram.
Welcome our PC Foreign Exchange Bureau head office. Sit down.
Thank you.
You can write them.
Wetin that mean?
Where you can take money to MoneyGram Western Union at any PC and Son shop, including the head office. you dey get 1% cashback instant.
Eh?
Yes, ma. E not tap deal. Every Thursday we can collect money. Now 59 Wellington Street. You say you dey show now the head office for the foreign exchange. You dey get 1% of that money you can collect plus additional gift.
Wow! You mean say for me 1% I dey get gifts?
Yes, ma.
Wetin na the gift?
You dey get gifts like 5 kg paddy jasmine rice. You dey get gifts like paddy oil, paddy milk, paddy mayonnaise, and plenty other paddy things them.
Una thank you.
You're welcome. And now you can call Kangoli go give you an the lucky win and see what you go win you say.
Wait till you deal with. No miss out on the Thursday special.
Visit Foreign Exchange Bureau, the 1% the game, plus Thursday special.
Here's how to update your details for Salon Payment Switch with AfriMoney. Dial *161#. Select option 1. Go to option 4 for Salon Payment Switch. Select option 2 for account registration. Select 1 to register your alias. You will receive an SMS with a WhatsApp link. Tap the link and provide a valid ID card and your last 5 transactions. Someone will help you update your accounts. AfriMoney, quick and easy.
Good to see your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day. Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina. Share happiness.
Download and register My AfriCell Sierra Leone new app today and enjoy 1 GB data for free. Valid for 3 days only. To download the app, scan the QR code or download it directly from Google Play Store or App Store. Download now and get the My AfriCell Sierra Leone new app features. For more info, call 111.
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes up waiting them for eat and drink. Now this make I always they choose Sarah juice because they make come from with local foods them and nutritious and it gets less sugar than the other drinks them. Not to me say so.
We lab test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now you make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice and nutritious, a healthy and it's sweet. Sierra juice, not the taste of Salone.
All right, welcome back, and a reminder that this is Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV television and radio. Now, with the 2028 elections approaching, political parties are gearing up for their delegates' conferences to determine who will be their presidential candidates.
Now, while some are discreet about their ambitions, others couldn't be louder. One of them is Mohamed Omodu Kamara, alias Jagaban. He spoke to Umaru Fofana in this interview.
Hello. Good evening. Thank you very much. How are you? Well, same here. Thank you.
welcome.
All right, okay. Good evening, and thank you very much for your time to talk to us.
Very welcome.
Could you please tell for the Sierra Leoneans who've seen you, who've adored you, who've been supporting you, even not supporting you, you want to tell them who Sheikh Alhaji Mohammed Omodu Kamara is?
Well, alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala al-mursaleen. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka Hamidum Majid. Amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum to everybody out there.
Wa alaikum salam.
Me na Muhammad, well, Alhaji Mohammed Omodu Kamara, who una all known as Jagaban. Me na born from Blama, Sumobo Chiefdom. Me papa come out from Potloko district, Milekure, and me mama come on at Tonkoliri. And I was fortunate for make and go born me na Blama, Sumobo Chiefdom, between Kenema and Big Bo. So alhamdulillah, I spent my whole life in Blama. I did attend primary school, I did go secondary school, Commodity, can finish na Prince of Wales. I did Prince of Wales, done sit O-level at that time, na O-level me there. From there, I was fortunate also for travel go overseas. So I go London. I spent 5 years in London before I travel go America. So me, I come up from a very humble home. My papa, be once a rich man, but something happened down the road. He lost everything. But my papa na one person will not depend on anybody for help. So what the money left we pick up with cutlass, we shovel, we hose, we're gonna farm.
What happened to your dad?
What do you mean?
And what happened when he said something?
Well, it's mismanagement. He travel, go to Hajj. When he comes back, everything is gone. At that time, we're very young, and it's just mismanagement of funds at that time when he wasn't around.
To become the APC's flag bearer, to lead the party to the elections in 2028. What makes you different from the others who want to become the same?
Okay. For me, I came with a different type of politics, because what I've been seeing here, the politicians, the people have actually, it's like a fatigue on something that they have tired of hearing the same thing. Nothing is progressing. You see people are busy doing something, but not actually producing nothing. And for me as a politician, I see myself different because I actually believe in doing the work than actually saying the work. I do because I've used to do stuff, and what I did throughout my life, I travel now to go London. I do it by myself after God. Nobody not contribute penny for me. I go London, nobody not assist me for job. I do it myself because I believe in fighting for something that I want. And the way I see politicians or the way politics they go in Sierra Leone, so people they think more of themselves instead of the people. And you as a politician, you're supposed to be a server. You are serving the nation. But here is the other way around. That's why people get it wrong. And most of the people, what they gravitate towards me because of what they see they do. Now make me, I need to seek followers. I want to let somebody attract, what are they do, let attract you. Then you can come and be part of me. Because this country will get from move on from Usa Ideso. And the only way we would move on, we need people with serious mind. People who are detail-oriented and people who get vision on what's to come.
But how do you achieve that? Because at present, the biggest challenge facing Sierra Leoneans is the economy. So, for example, do you have any different economic policies from the ones that we currently have that would change the lives of the ordinary Sierra Leonean?
Well, the thing is, just like when people and they ask me, say, what are your manifesto? What is your I'm a walking manifesto. You understand? I've done so many things. I think currently, they contribute to the economy of Sierra Leone greatly because of them small microcredit they give out and the assistance they render, both school, churches, mosques, they move the economy. That's why when I'm not here, the economy is kind of like dried. But when I come back to Freetown, everything will light up. So I'm like the moving vessel of economy. So well, for example, like these buses that I'm bringing.
How many buses, by the way?
Well, right now it's 25 buses.
In total, how many do you intend to bring?
100.
Okay.
So I have put in an order of another 25. So it's going to be in 25 increments.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and these buses right now is going to create a bigger impact on the economy because we get for hire more than 100 people. We get for pay taxes, the people and they pay taxes. It's all that thing that make the economy, they go round. And also, I have another businesses that I'm doing, like the motorbikes. That one also, you get for hired a lot of people.
How many motorbikes?
Well, right now, we get over 5,000 motorbikes. We just wait for the assembly hall for making, we finish them. We'll just miss some small parts then for finish the building. Once that building they done, they begin assembly with motorbikes them. And now the most interesting thing about those motorbikes and the buses is actually my aim is for bring relief. Just imagine if that mommy or that young boy out there able to acquire 3 motorbikes, then in a 3 employment you don't create so. And that 3 employment day, it get for generate income, where inside get for pay taxes. So that taxes is get for make the economy grow.
A lot of multiplying
Yes, a lot of multiplying effect.
Talking about which, is it true that you wanted to have an assembly point here for your bikes, but you were denied? Is that true?
Well, no, I wasn't denied.
What happened?
Well, actually, what happened was when, okay, let me phrase this. So when I thought about the assembly plant, and I went to China, and I placed the order for the bikes. So when I came, it didn't, well, I would say that it was a lot of misunderstanding. You know, I think the government thinks that I'm trying to create something without their permission or whatever. It was a whole bunch of mess. But actually, what was missing in that particular event, it was the clearance. The clearance, we put in the clearance. First, they approved the clearance, and then they withdraw the clearance. So by the time they withdraw the clearance, we did not know, that the client has been withdrawn. So everybody has been invited, blah, blah, blah. So everybody was there, everybody was jubilating, with happiness. So, but if I sat here and tell you that I was denied, I'm going to lie to you.
So is the plant ready now? Is it working?
Well, we are almost about 70% complete, because the assembly, the building actually is missing some parts. So we had to order them. But actually everything is going on smoothly right now.
Talking about that and the fact that you said earlier that Allah had blessed you with resources, are you a rich man?
Yes, if you can put all my resources or all my investment together, yes, I consider myself to be a rich man.
How much are we talking about? Hundreds of millions of dollars or millions of dollars? Or tens of millions of dollars?
Well, it's millions. That's I can tell you. Okay, for instance, let's talk about these buses. These buses is over $4 million. You know,
and the
$4 million.
Is it true you're bringing a roll-on, roll-off ferry?
Yes. Well, the ferries actually, I thought about getting one ferry. But the way I looked at it, one ferry will not do the job. So I decided to do 2 ferries.
Brand new ferries.
Brand new ferries. I would never bring something here that is second-hand. I would never, because I would not do it to my people. You know, I would never do that.
Where did he get all this money from? Is it true you won the lottery?
I wish. This is my handwork money. You know, I started my business with $100. $100. I was sleeping on the floor to get my business going. I slept in my office, a single office. This office is even bigger than that office when I started. It was only one single table. I slept in that office for almost a month just to get my business going. I'm a fighter. I never take things for granted because I know that if you put the effort, Allah will bless you. I'd never depend on anybody. That's why I've never been disappointed because I don't expect nothing from anybody.
That's a nice philosophy. It's only when you're expectant that you get disappointed.
Yes. So
what do you say to somebody who says that you want to buy your way to the presidency using money beyond anything else, more than anything else?
Well, everything in this world is money. It's money. Whoever says that I would say that their way of thinking is out of touch. Because if me helping people to survive, if you consider that buying my way to politics, so be it. Because if I see this, like the women that I'm giving revolving loan, you know, loans without no interest, I don't request for the money back. You know, I give it to them so they can rotate and help each other. Or building the party office from one, you know, how can a party like APC doesn't have offices in most of this district? Have you guys seen that and ask yourself, what happened to the APC party? Where did we go wrong? A place like Sheka, go there right now. They have one of the best party offices in Sierra Leone. So if me, God bless me, I can Nayaso. The APC party, we don't go down. We don't go down. People are even ashamed of saying they are APCians. I don't lift the party up. Now, all man, they boast of saying, we not APC, we not APC. Look the cards, that membership cards. Over $80,000. 9 million contribution for bringing cards and then also. All the office there where you go, you see party office. Go right now at this main office na free toyaso. If you go there right now, you see the tiles them all smooth. You see lights them bright. Try if you go there, if you not be careful, you go one bucky foot.
You did all that for the party.
Yes.
And why have you not helped with the McKinney, the regional office, which is quite a massive.
Oh, very good. I'm so happy that you brought that. And I'm going to speak this in Creole so these people, them and me, they end up going to understand me. That party office, I be don't put $200,000 for work na that party office.
When was that?
That was like a year ago. All the leadership na the party, na McKinney, they knows about that. But for some reason, the architecture or the engineer, whoever want for work na the party, a request for the paperwork, the drawings of the, so they will know Usai and Usai for put parts them. Now the fight broke out.
Oh, I don't understand that.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I was in America when it happened.
But the party leaders did not make that available to you?
No.
Did you ask them?
Well, I asked. Well, I have a coordinator in McKinney that was handling that situation. So I don't know what happened. So I just said, you know what? My job is to help. So if my help is refused, so there is nothing I can do. So that's why, but I haven't given up yet. My aim is to take up the party, that party office, very soon. Because I drove by there a couple of days ago. man, that party office it's a mess right now. And it's a disgrace for us to have, because McKinney is the sitting place of the APC party. It's like the home of the APC party. And we currently have our former president, that's his resident, you know, and it breaks my heart, you know, because to have somebody that have fought so hard for this country and has improved most of the things that we're enjoying right now, you know, to have his home, you know, the regional office to look like that is a shame on all of us, the APCN.
Talking about that, what's your relationship with the former president, Ernest Bai Koroma?
We have a very good relationship.
Are you on regular speaking terms?
Yes, we are.
Is he supporting you?
I don't ask for support, because the reason why I don't ask him to support me, I would love his support. I would love for him to support me, but I want him at his own time. My job is to do what I'm able to do. It's not my job to change people's mind towards me.
Aren't you doing that already by talking to people to support you?
Well, I'm doing my job. They are attracted to my job. That's why they're gravitating towards me. It's just like a mango. When you see a ripe mango, have you ever seen a ripe mango come down the tree and said, come and eat me?
You have to go pluck it.
You have to go pluck it. So that's what I'm doing. Let me do my job, and that's what is called in Arabic tawakkul. You do your own job, and the rest, leave it to Allah.
And do you think all of that support you've been offering the party, how confident are you that all of that will translate into you becoming the flag bearer eventually?
Well, one thing I know for sure, the people of Sierra Leone, they are very wise now. It's not like before. So that's why any candidate that underestimates the intelligence of the voters, you are doing it the wrong way. Because these people, they know the difference. They know who is actually fighting for them, and they know who is fighting for their own pocket.
That is secondary in terms of being voted for as president, but within the party, the leadership is going to be determined by delegates.
Well,
how confident are you that you will win the party's flag?
Well, currently, I am the leading candidate. That I can tell you for sure.
How so?
Because I have the delegates to prove it. And whoever is questioning that, to come and talk to me.
Let me question that now. Mr. Kumar, can you prove to me that you have the majority?
Yes, I can. Because when you think about the Southeast, you know, I have 100 for 100 in most districts in the Southeast.
Are you predicating that on the lower level elections that's happened recently?
Yes.
Is that the basis?
Yes. And I'm very much confident of that. If you can go and ask, you can go everywhere and ask them. I don't normally blow my own horn because I don't believe in self-praises. I believe in doing my job. And my job is to offer hope for these people that the future, man, I'm telling you, I've been on top of the mountain and I'm looking down at the people and I saw what I'm seeing is happiness, and the happiness is coming. 2028 is going to be a different Sierra Leone. So that's why I'm telling you that I have the proof and I have the delegates. It's all about the delegate and I have them. I am the leading candidate when it comes to the delegates. So that's all that matters.
Right, that was Mohammed Omodu Kamara, also known as Jagaban. Well, to discuss his message and messaging, we're now joined in the studio by Rami Saad, Global Coordinator, Jagaban Movement. Rami, good morning.
Good morning, and thanks for having me here today.
Quite an interesting interview with mixed reactions from members of the public, but let's break it down. He says he doesn't believe in saying, he believes in doing. But in politics, you have to speak, you have to say, which would be followed by actions in the doing. How does the entire team cope intend to cope with this situation and manage it? Speaking is part of politics.
Well, that is true. I mean, politics is about communication. But what you saw in that interview is a very honest and a very natural man that speaks his mind. In Sierra Leone, politics has been far too long about having a beautiful speech, big jargons and big policies and things that people intend to do. But when they're in office, it's a whole different narrative. What my leader was saying is that you have to be practical. You can't say, for you as an instance, having this job, you went to school, you studied, you have what it takes to execute your job. What Jagaban is trying to say is that our politics has to change now. You have to have politicians showing what they're capable of doing even before they acquire an office. You have to be more practical. It's not just about having a beautiful speech, but you cannot translate that into an intervention or any transformation. So I think that's what he's trying to say. And us as a campaign, that's what we've been doing all around the country, is intervention on the economy when it comes to microcredit that we give out to people around the country, when it comes about bringing these buses, the bikes, building the party offices. It's not about his wealth, it's what I can do for my people. I'm trying to show what I can do as an individual, and if I have the chance of becoming the president, then I can translate this into 8 million people.
It's not just about what you intend to do. When it comes to accountability, the people need to be told or presented with a plan in form, in this case, of a manifesto. This leads to accountability because during your term or after, the people would be able to come back to you and say, you promised XYZ. In his case, in that interview, a clear manifesto was not communicated. Rather, he said he is a walking manifesto. That cannot hold.
Well, when you talk about policy and you're trying to say that was not communicated, maybe yes, but I don't think the interview was about policy or Jagaban going to talk about his manifesto. He said he's a walking manifesto, meaning things that I intend to do, I'm showing it now. Again, go back to what Jagaban has done all over the country, right? Things he's doing for his people. These are walking manifesto. Yes, Jagaban can help a young man now and give him money, but that does not translate into having jobs or creating employment. That needs to be done by the government.
Let's get this clear. Are you as a team saying a manifesto is not relevant, or do you have
I'm not saying that. A manifesto is relevant, and it's a document. Of course we do. But again, that interview was not about us talking about our manifesto or about our policies when it comes into government. Everything in life takes time, and it has to be by section. We're fighting to be the flag bearer right now. Once we get that, then we aspire to be president. At that time, we start talking about policies and all of that. We have a team that addresses our policies. We have a manifesto that is already work in progress. But a leader right now has a working manifesto, because these are not just documents. These are things that he has done. Talk about the buses that he's bringing, 25 buses. They're already here. If that was a government, when we have the Wakeup fine, that was something that was a big narrative here in Sierra Leone. So you talking about policy, that's a policy. You're trying to fight against all these issues about transportation. You creating employment. Those are policies. So he's a walking manifesto. You might not like the jargon, but those are facts.
So what do you do for and to the Jagaban movement?
I'm the global campaign coordinator.
Would you say you did a good job by preparing your boss for that interview?
Are you saying he did a poor job on the interview?
It's a question.
No, well, of course, we prepared him. What you saw there was a very successful engagement with one of the most prominent journalists in Sierra Leone. You saw a very natural man that delivered an honest interview. Talk about his conviction, his services, what he intends to do for this country, and everything that he intends to do if he becomes the next flag bearer and hopefully the next president of Sierra Leone.
The National Secretariat of the APC has denied ever receiving a $200,000, from your boss, as he claimed in the interview, for the completion of the APC office in McKinney. What are we missing?
Well, first of all, correction there. The Secretariat did not deny that. Pope denied that, and Pope is the Deputy Publicity Secretary. He does not have the right to claim as a Secretariat. The Secretariat is Lansana Dumbuya, and you've never seen an official statement. What Pope did was very, very poor and unprofessional, because at the end of the day, he does not have the capacity to do that. Secondly, I don't think he did a good job in understanding what my leader said. What my leader said, that he had an intention to invest $200,000. He never claimed that was invested, all right? Several things didn't work out. And what didn't work out was that he requested for the architectural drawings, the BOQ, and all of that. And none of that was provided. So he withheld and didn't proceed with that. Pope should have called us as a campaign, asked for more details and clarity, but instead he went ahead and made a write-up that was just false and very unprofessional.
I read one of your previous articles online. Let me quote it. Jagaban's proposed priorities around economic revival, youth employment, women's participation, agriculture, and decentralization. These were your words in an earlier piece. But in the interview the other day with Umaru, Jagaban said his priority was to provide premium health care. He didn't mention any of the things you had written about.
Well, it's an interview.
Is it a mismatch in communication?
No, it's not a mismatch. You don't expect him to say everything that he needed to do. These were questions being asked, and he's following up. We can focus that interview.
He was quite crystal, though, saying that healthcare was his focus.
Of course, it's one of his focus. Again, he didn't talk about everything that he intends to do when he becomes a president. What we're fighting for now is to convince a delegate and making sure that we're the best man for the job and being the best man for the flag bearer that can automatically be the next president and win in party of 2028.
One of the APC aspirants, JFK, recently said these words, and I quote, "We cannot go to the delegates conference with 20 candidates. We have to build a consensus," end of quote. If push came to shove, whom among the aspirants would Jagaban ally with?
I don't think that's a decision I can make, right? This is an entire campaign. It's a movement. And when you talk about those alignments, there's a discussion that can be done with the party leadership, which we do have. So it's not a decision I can make here. What I can tell you here is that Jagaban is in good terms and have a very good and healthy relationship with all of these other candidates. They are brothers, sisters, and all of that. And they have a very good discussion going forward. And if Jagaban becomes the next flag bearer, it won't be a problem in uniting the party or working with these other candidates and making sure that what we are focused on is winning 2028 as a party.
Now, in politics, again, Jagaban is seeking to become president of Sierra Leone. If that bid becomes successful through being flag bearer of the APC, and if he becomes successful in being president, it goes beyond just what he thinks, what he wants to do, taking actions to just prove that I do not say. It involves even Sierra Leone's relationship with the international community. Plans would have to be presented to the citizens of Sierra Leone and to even international partners, so people can rally, people and organizations can rally around the plan for its successful implementation. You say there's a manifesto. Let's come to the manifesto. Energy, for example, is a big challenge in Sierra Leone. Electricity is a problem. As per your manifesto as a team, what are you looking at as a solution to this problem that has not been able to be solved under all previous administrations, including the current administration? What does your manifesto say about energy?
Well, obviously, energy is the big issue here, but I think to start overall about everything you just said, Jagaban's job as a president will be to assemble people, make tough decisions, and make sure that you have ministers and directors that can deliver your vision, right? Jagaban himself doesn't have to do the job. I think that's the biggest scope of a president, putting a team together that can execute your vision. And in our manifesto, what we want to do in terms of energy is making sure that we have people that are capable of delivering what the vision is. And if you want to electrify Sierra Leone, you want to electrify Sierra Leone and all of that. First of all, we're looking at privatization. I'll give you an example. Just take a look at communication. Serratel can no longer be a competition or a match for places like Africell, places like Orange, right? And this was a government institution, but it failed. So look at electricity at the same time. It's a 60-something-year-old country, and government has been managing electricity, and to this day, it's not been able to deliver exactly what we want to do as a Sierra Leoneans, right? And enjoy 24-hour electricity. So we're looking at privatization. It's something that is not going to be instant, but it comes over time, because we believe that that can evaluate and take away corruption, that can, you know, when you talk about PPP, private partnership, these are things that delivers. And we want to look at electricity also in that same direction, because we can't be doing the same thing over and over and expect a different outcome. Government has been managing electricity for a while now, and there has been not a different outcome. Previous administration and the current one are still not been able to deliver. So we want to take a different approach, which is privatization. But again, our manifesto is still work in progress, and there's a lot of other things being deliberated, and these are things that you improve over time. It's not something that is a constant decision and you think it's a set stone. When you go
Minister of Has he identified a team of competent, qualified Sierra Leoneans able to deliver?
I think that is far too now. Our focus again is trying to be the flag bearer, right? We're focused on the delegate,
But
making
in that
sure.
interview again, to piggyback on that interview, he had mentioned that he is very sure it's not even a stiff competition for him. This is me paraphrasing in many different ways that he put it. It's not a competition for him. He's certain.
He said he's the leader.
He is the leading, meaning you're going to emerge as flag bearer. So going off of that, you would expect that if one is so confident that I would become this, you should be a couple of steps ahead to plan. So peradventure, you become what you're certain you would become. It goes down to delivering to the people.
That is true. We're still the leading candidate, and we know we have the delegate, like my leader just said. But again, you're trying to tell me that as of now, we should be very proactive in hiring or having a cabinet in place. And I think that is far too for us now. We're not yet there. We'll focus again on being the next flag bearer. Once we have that flag bearership, then we start being focused on our campaign and being the president in 2028. And at that time, he has a team around him. Like we just mentioned earlier, my brother asked me over there about his relationship with the other candidates. Then you start putting a cabinet together, thinking about who has the capacity to do what. But for now, he's not thinking about that. We have the vision, we have the policy, and we know when 2028 comes, we'll have the right candidates, we have the people with the ability to deliver the vision.
I'm sure you've been following, governance in Sierra Leone for a while now. What are your impressions about our economy at the moment?
Well, I think our economy is not where we expect it to be. As an opposition, we have to be responsible in terms of ensuring that we don't only acknowledge what is terrible as a country or what the current government is doing, but also acknowledge some of the good things they're doing. But the economy as it stands now, I think is deplorable, right? I don't think it reflects on the kitchen table, meaning to say, how does it feel for the Okada rider, the keke rider, the market women, or even people that are working, right? How does that translate into the money they make? People have jobs, but at the end of the day, living in Sierra Leone is becoming very, very expensive. The cost of transportation, the cost of electricity, and the cost of goods, right? So the government has a whole lot of work to do, and these are things us as a campaign realize, and these are things that we know that has to be fixed by God's grace when Jagaban becomes president in 2028.
And following up on that, how does your leader plan to fix this, deplorability?
Well, there are several things in place, right? When you talk about the economy again, what has to be done in Sierra Leone is make sure that we change the narrative. Sierra Leone is more of an export country. All we do is take raw materials and ship them out. We have to change the narrative. We have to start converting our raw materials into finished product and making sure that improves our economy drastically, whereby we create jobs, we create finished product within Sierra Leone that increase our ability to have more expats. If you go to our colleges, you see things that are university whereby people still do the same courses. We have to expand on that, our knowledge base, and make sure that we're ready for a more digitalized and a more modern government.
Just to let my viewers understand, that's the way your boss plans on fixing the economy by,
Well, that is part of our plan. Again, I can't just speak of our manifesto of now.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I'll just talk about policy. But one of our focus in changing the economy is making sure that we change from just exporters to just having finished product, have more manufacturers within Sierra Leone.
Yeah. Earlier, my colleague Fabian asked you about, communication and articulation. All about politics is convincing people, eloquence. And do you think your boss can persuade people to vote for him?
Definitely, and I think he's already doing that. But I think just saying about eloquent, we're not running for the president of England. So being eloquent or having the accent, that does not
the context. Eloquence in this instance, I'm not referring to the Queen's language or the King's language, not English.
Okay.
Even in Creole, for example. Eloquence means to speak freely, convincingly.
Well, I think he did that. What you saw there is a very natural man that speaking both, was a mixture of both English and Creole on the interview. I think as a politician, you should be able to talk to the professor at the university, the keke rider, the bike rider, the market women, the young people, the students. So you have to be a very good political communicator. And I think he executed that very, very well.
You think he's a very good political communicator?
I think
in your
so.
estimation?
Yes.
I saw a picture of the both of you in your Prince of Wales, ceremonial. Did you attend school together? Is he your classmate?
No.
Oh.
He was ahead of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the man himself running for office. How would you describe Jagaban to someone who has never met him?
Well, I'll tell you, he's a very, very humble man. He's a man with a vision, a man that loves his people, a man that is ready to serve, a man, he have the opportunity to become the president of Sierra Leone, will deliver for his people. I think what is missing in Sierra Leone is having politicians that have love for their people. And Jagaban comes with that. And he's a very natural man. He's someone that have a dream and want to ensure that that dream becomes a reality.
Yes, go ahead, Fabian.
You've been around him for how long?
For a while now, because we've been friends for a minute. We both used to live in America. And when he has this ambition and vision, we spoke about it, and I decided to also relocate down here to Sierra Leone to help make sure that
I'm
I
actually
play
just
my
trying
role.
to get a picture of the time frame of how long you've been, close to him.
More than 10 years.
More than 10 years. Okay, so this puts you in a good position to be able to make this assessment. In your personal assessment of Jagaban, what would you say are his strongest principles, and what value do you think that can add to Sierra Leone?
Well, One of his strongest principles also is ensuring that when you start something, you finish it. He's very, very dedicated. He's very, very honest, very humble, and again, the love for his people. But I think one thing about a politician is that you should be able to identify your weaknesses and make sure you create a room for improvement, because at the end of the day, identifying your weakness and having a room for improvement shows that that's a leadership skill that you have. And I think Jagaban has been able to display that. And one thing that we want to ensure that we do as a campaign is continue to grow on a daily basis, identify areas that we need to improve upon, and I think we've been doing that very well.
He's a businessman. He's been into business, as he communicated in that interview with Umaru Fofana. He's been into business for quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, how does he intend to sort of mobilize resources for Sierra Leone's development? Is it thinking down the lines of also dipping into his pockets to fund the developmental activities in the nation? And this question is not about his current status as an aspiring flag bearer aspirant. This question is now, if again, peradventure, he becomes flag bearer and perhaps president of Sierra Leone, is he looking at dipping into his pockets to add to the funding of Sierra Leone's development?
No, I don't think so, and I don't think that's a smarter approach for any politician. I don't think a politician should think like that. For us, there are different ways that we can source funding, but again, like I mentioned earlier, it's empowering our nation of itself. We have a lot of raw materials, a lot of minerals. Those can be converted into funding for our government. But I think also when you look at our government, it's not just about funding. It's about how we execute our funding. There's a lot of loopholes, a lot of corruptions, and part of our policy also is ensuring that we digitalize the way government do business. A lot of paper trail. We have to change that to a modern government system and make sure a lot of loopholes are being closed. But there's a lot of ways we can find funding from international partners. But one key focus is making sure that we as a nation as well can generate funds for ourselves, and that is tapping into our raw materials and minerals and making sure we convert them into very good resources for our people.
He is convinced, you are convinced as a team, that he's the leading candidate for flag bearer.
Definitely.
It could either go in your favor or against. Either way, if he doesn't become flag bearer of the APC, if he doesn't eventually become president of Sierra Leone, would Jagaban still stay in Sierra Leone and continue to contribute towards the development of Sierra Leone? I ask this because prior to Jagaban coming to the limelight, seeking to be flag bearer of the APC, much had not been known about his whereabouts in Sierra Leone or even philanthropic activities. So if he doesn't become flag bearer and president of Sierra Leone, would he still continue to do the good things he's doing now?
Definitely. One thing that he has always said, that even if there is someone that has the capacity more than him to deliver as a flag bearer, that he will support that individual. One thing we've been concerned about a campaign is that showing up for our people and showing up for our party. When Jagaban came to the limelight, he came for vice president, and he didn't get that. We didn't run away. We're still here. We're still supporting our party, supporting the people of Sierra Leone. And as long as we go into a convention that is free and fair, and if he's not the chosen one, we'll still continue to support our party and the people of Sierra Leone. He'll still be a businessman, he'll still be a philanthropist, and continue to invest in Sierra Leone.
Right, many thanks indeed to you, Rami Said. He's Global Coordinator, Jagaban Movement. We're going for a short recess. Shall be back.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like Wakeup SIM Copper.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital. to keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup Simple Plus now.
You can download the Wakeup SIM Couple Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users.
You see, it's fast, safe, and reliable.
Morning. Ria, give me 30 Leone top up. Thank you. Hello, babe. How you dey do? Talk to Uba.
Hello? Hello?
Don't settle for a provider that cuts into your data and airtime.
Ria, give me all the 30 deals.
AfriCell gives you full value. AfriCell, now we network.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I can take money, 2 MoneyGram.
Welcome our PC Foreign Exchange Bureau head office. Sit down.
Thank you.
You can write them.
Waiting that mean?
Where you can take money, 2 MoneyGram Ria Western Union and any PC and Son shop, including with head office. You dey get 1% cashback instant.
Eh?
Yes, ma. You know tap deal. Every Thursday we can collect money. Now 59 Wellington Street. You say you dey show now the head office for the foreign exchange. You dey get 1% of that money you can collect plus additional gifts.
Wow! You mean say for me 1% I dey get gifts?
Yes, ma.
Waiting at the gift.
You dey get gifts like 5 kg paddy jasmine rice. You dey get gifts like paddy oil, paddy milk, paddy mayonnaise, and plenty other paddy things then.
Una thank you.
You're welcome. And now you can call can only go give you an lucky win and see what you go win you say.
Wait till you dey wait. No miss out on the Thursday special.
BC Foreign Exchange Bureau, the 1% the game plus Thursday special.
*161 *5 *4 hash. Press 2. Enter account ID on the back of your Visa card. Enter the last 4 digits on the card. Enter the amount. Enter your AfriMoney PIN. Please securely save your PIN to prevent unauthorized transactions from your card. For more information, call 088 326 326. AfriMoney prepaid Visa card. Safe, simple, accepted everywhere.
Waiting you be the fan, don't finally come. We don't bring come, we AfriCell loyalty program where they make you get loyalty points with every top up what you do with AfriCell.
The more you top up, the more points you go get, where you can now exchange for minutes, data, phones, discount, and even cashback.
In our tap deal, you can also gain points with every transaction what you do with Afri Money. Any top up what you do with AfriCell, they count.
Dial star 4232 hash for join the loyalty program for free and start for get you points now. The more you connect, the more you collect now the loyalty program from AfriCell.
AfriCell, now we network.
Right, welcome back. You're still watching Wake Up Sierra Leone live on the Africa Young Voices television. You're also on radio this morning on 101.7. Don't forget to chime in on the conversation online on any of our social media pages. Next to politics. The main opposition, APC, the All People's Congress, in the press conference on Friday, has officially rejected the passage of the Constitution of Sierra Leone Amendment Bill 2025 and announced its intention to challenge the decision in the Supreme Court of Sierra Leone.
Now, the political standoff erupted in Parliament following a bitter dispute over the voting threshold required to pass the constitutional amendments. The Speaker of Parliament ruled that a simple majority was sufficient for the bill to progress.
Well, the APC strongly argued that under Section 108(2)(b of the 1991 Constitution, any bill seeking to alter the country's constitution strictly requires two-thirds majority, equivalent to at least 100 votes. But this morning, to discuss the issue in its entirety, we've been joined by Adi Macaulay, lawyer and flag-bearer aspirant APC. We also have Abdul Fatoma, Chief Executive, Chadi, also in the studio this morning with us.
Now, joining us also to talk about political communication generally is Dr. Isaac Massakoy, who has taught mass communications at Frabe College, University of Sierra Leone for decades. Good morning. Thanks for joining us, gentlemen. Let's start with Adi Macaulay. The APC has strongly protested against the procedure used in Parliament. What are your next line of actions?
Good morning, Phoebe, and good morning, listeners and viewers. As you know, we, as a party, did call a press conference on Friday in which both local and international journalists were invited and, in fact, attended. And in that press conference, we gave a plethora of the reasons why, as a party, a responsible party that is responsive to the wishes of the ordinary citizens, that we are contesting, and we have rejected the purported, and I use the word purported guardedly, because as far as we're concerned, the proper parliamentary procedures were not gone through, so it could not have passed legally in Parliament, so we call it a purported bill. We are going to challenge that purported bill in the Supreme Court, not only in the Supreme Court, but also in the court of public opinion, which is why I'm here. And we are calling on all Sierra Leoneans, based on Section 13 of the Constitution, each and every Sierra Leonean has an obligation to ensure that they participate in the political process of the country. And sovereignty belongs to the people. And if sovereignty belongs to the people, Sierra Leoneans, regardless of your political affiliation, must be heard on this issue.
So your next line of action is going to the court?
It's going to the court, yes.
Okay. At what point did the APC now develop confidence in the judicial system to go to court? Because not long ago, the APC was not interested in going to the courts with question marks on the judicial system.
What
has changed?
I totally disagree with your statement that the APC has not had full confidence in the courts. When it is necessary for us to go to court.
Just to take a pause on that, this is not my opinion. This is from communication made by members of the APC, especially coming from 2023 elections, the response to the questions that were asked about going to court. Just to note.
Vivian, if you could just allow me, you will see the reason behind the madness of me saying that you are not entirely correct. Starting with the commissions of inquiry. In 2019, when the APC felt that the commissions of inquiry did not have the functional competence to proceed without rules of procedure, we went to court. We filed an application in the Supreme Court for the interpretation of Section 149, subsection 4 of the Constitution. To date, that matter has not been put before the Supreme Court for hearing. Besides that, 10 of our members of parliament were removed from parliament. Again, we were in court, up to the Court of Appeal and even up to Supreme Court. We filed an application in the Supreme Court challenging the authority of the High Court and the Court of Appeal to proceed with the hearing of those petitions, given that there has been a breach of Section 78, subsection 2, and Section 78, subsection 4 of our Constitution, which says that both in the High Court and in the Court of Appeal, upon filing of the petition to the date of the judgment being read in court, there should be not more than 4 months. Again, upon the date of filing an appeal to the date of the Court of Appeal giving a decision on the appeal, it should not exceed more than 4 months. On both occasions, it exceeded more than 4 months. We filed, myself and African also used to say, filed in the Supreme Court to determine whether or not the Court of Appeal and the High Court can proceed with hearings of petition matters when the 4 months provided for by the Constitution has expired. To date, as I speak, the Supreme Court has not put that matter before any judge for adjudication or hearing. When we go beyond that, when there were adverse findings in the commissions of inquiry, for us as members of the APC, instructed lawyers, I did 13 cases. I filed 13 appeals in the Court of Appeal, which were heard. Again, the only reason why I believe people are saying that the APC has rejected going to court was because of the outcome of the 2023 election, wherein the APC chose the political option rather than the legal option to solve or deal with the issue of the disputed election. But just close to the elections, when the ECSL refused to publish the voter register, about 4 weeks to the elections, we filed again in the High Court of Sierra Leone for an order compelling the ECSL to publish the voter register for the elections. Again, that matter was not placed before a High Court judge for hearing. So having given you all this plethora of cases, it is up to you to determine whether or not yourself will be confident enough in approaching such a court.
Right, we'll come back to you, Andy.
Thank you.
Do you think these guys stand a chance, the EPC, pursuing their case to the Supreme Court?
Giving me the role of a judge to give an outcome of a matter that have not been before the judge. We as a country, we have huge challenges with our justice system. Even the president himself confessed that during a town hall meeting. That meeting was organized by Sarah I magazine when he was asked, about the snail pace of the process of the former Auditor General. And he said that he himself has been a victim of the justice system. And we as a people have to fix it. And fixing it when and how has been our contention, because we still continue to be struggle, having a fair thing. Now, if you open the phone line here, or maybe the text box, you will clearly see citizens who will be in agreement with me that we have a large challenge. When you go to the court, you actually get what required to be justice. We still have people who we are handling their cases, monitoring it. They have been having their matter at the appeals court for more than 5 to 6 years, waiting for judgment. We have seen people waiting for judgment for more than 7 years. Matter has been in that court. This year, 2026, made it 24 years waiting for judgment, 24 good years, right? And political case normally rush, and we see high interest in it. But if I could recall back in June 30th, around that, the All People's Congress, in their position paper, you know, it was within 1 and 5. They made it very clear to the people of this country why they are not interested in taking that particular matters to court, the electioneering process, because they lack trust in the justice system. Fabian asked a very good question. So I was wondering during this press conference that they have more confidence than before hitting the Supreme Court. And this is a human rights issue. Constitutional issues are human rights issues.
So the Speaker will refer them to the Supreme Court, actually?
No, we have more other jurisdiction to explore within the continent. We have sub-regional, then now we have continental. The good thing about, we currently have the ratification of the African Court, which deals with right issues, constitutional issues as well. So now Sierra Leone and Sierra Leoneans are qualified to go in Arusha and challenge constitutional matters in this country.
Do you think the APC has made a blunder?
No way. I mean, they now express their interest and confidence in our local jurisdiction. So it's good, it's rich for us to have in such case law, and for us to have an experience whether the judiciary will treat it with seriousness or will have a fair interpretation of the law. So it is a test, and this entire thing is quite clear. It don't supposed to be convincing. Sierra Leone is a constitutional republic, and the Constitution of Sierra Leone is the supreme law. And when you go to section 171(15), it declares that any law that is not consistent with the Constitution, in that inconsistency may be considered void and no effect. So when you look at the actual provisions that are creating this entire thing, I mean, people who are lettered are the one creating confusion for the people of this country. 1082B, it's very clear. Members of mean all the 149 statutory seats we currently have in our House of Parliament. And out of that, I'm not a good mathematician, and I don't think I always enjoy having good grades for mathematics. But those who know it will clearly say to you, because these are human, it requires 100. So when you have that 100, even the 49 decide to walk out, sleep, or not vote, it has no effect.
I'm looking at the eventuality of this thing because, again, the law says that the Speaker's decision cannot be overturned.
I mean, these are just...
Whatever the court's ruling would be eventually.
You see what happens in Parliament. I publish my personal opinion. We required a huge capacity building for our members of Parliament. If they want it, it's good for them. If they don't want it, let them throw it. Okay. But the reality is that they required a good capacity. Their capacity needs to be built. Some of you, or those who are watching us, who follow some of the debate, we saw lack of substance, in some of our MPs who were actually discussing an important document like this that determine our destiny in this country. And, you see a lot of immaturity flowing, lack of composure from some of our members of parliament, saying things that are really not parliamentary, and they need a structure. So words were said. Now probably if they play the tape for some of those folks, they're going to regret their statement. So, I mean, there's another provisions that makes a very clear opportunity for citizens and members of parliament that if, they are satisfied with any provisions in a bill or a bill passed by parliament, they can go to the Supreme Court. And another provisions give the Supreme Court the power to look into constitutional interpretations matter. So all what we are doing, it's guided by law. That's the reason why I said the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Sierra Leone is a constitutional republic, meaning we abide by laws.
From the genesis of this whole situation, it's actually really been about the APC and the SLPP.
Yeah.
Tracing this way back to the unity agreement, the tripartite committee's outcome, then you fast forward to go into Parliament Constitutional Amendment Bill, which the contents of that is merely for the electoral portions of the Constitution. And here we are to the outcome of the process in Parliament. Do you think it's a situation where it should have been the APC taking this to court, or members of the public sort of depoliticizing this whole process that has been the APC versus the APC kind of situation?
No.
Is it apt for the APC to go to court with this, or should it be
yes.
any other institution
Yes,
or
I think
citizens?
it is appropriate for the APC to do that because it is their fundamental right enshrined in the Constitution of Sierra Leone. Why? Because APC is a Sierra Leonean institution and members of APC are Sierra Leonean. And the Constitution is very clear on that citizens of this country holds that right to challenge issues of such nature.
Citizens hold the right. And then Adi just communicated the history they have with the judicial system. They, as a political party, some of the cases that they've taken to court, and they've not been given the attention they so desire. Again, as important and urgent as perhaps this situation is to some citizens, I'll ask again, could it have been better for any other institution or group of citizens to take this matter to court other than the All People's Congress, a political party, the main opposition?
I will go back and give my answer, remain being consistent on that. Yes, they hold the right to do so because they are citizens. Look, we are having challenges with the judiciary, calling things out, but we continue to file cases at the judiciary. No matter how long it takes, we'll come back to the public and say, look, we have been waiting for judgment for 2 years. We have been waiting for judgment for 7 months. But because that is our right, and we have the right to exercise that very fundamental right, that's the reason why, for now, the only and better option we have locally, that is it. No matter your position with Chadi, I don't care about that. Chadi will exploit the opportunities that are available publicly in the interest of all Sierra Leoneans. So these are some of the things that we need to communicate to our people. So the problem we have is being very insincere with ourselves. You listen to some of the APC MPs or some of the APC spokespeople working out on that day, and they see it as nothing. But for us, observing, monitoring, and running comments, we see it as a disadvantage to the people of this country. And that comes in because I've been in the well of parliament for that entire process, monitoring the two parties, their behavior, their character in that well, both their members of parliament and their political executive. There was a high level of dishonesty, suspicion. So the APC learned that some of their members have already been compromised, if not all of them, in parliament. And so with that, they decided to do man-marking situation and to ensure that those MPs who have been corrupted to the ruling party side to pass this bill, in a very peaceful manner. So what happened? A joyous mood on Friday, APC, SLPP members, for the very first time since 2018 to this 2026, you witness SLPP members and APC members dancing to a tune, nothing not the pressure, we dancing to it, vigorously, with energy. Another allegations that money was passed for the dancing, that's an allegation. It's up for them to provide it. We saw the leader, not a junior member of parliament, the leader, the principal leader of the opposition, in an interview with journalists after their press conference, came out and said his members were approached with $100,000 offer with a brand new SUV. We don't know which quality, which quantity, so we cannot quantify the price of that. So maybe we're talking about 700,000 for one person, because some vehicles are up to 600. Some SUVs are more than 200,000 US dollars. So we don't know if the cheaper SUV or the higher SUV, but 100 US dollar with an unquantified price of a brand new SUV. And the disrespectful thing in that message, it said that this man, the person who was talking to him, was shivering. That shows the level of poverty. Somebody approached with $100,000 and reporting that to his or her boss, shivering. That's a poverty mentality. It's not a scared of anything, it's just a poverty mentality. And then this shows that this very bill, not only principles in fraud, the process, because now we have a huge allegations without any verification fact at this point in time, has been compromised with a clear allegation of bribery. I did work as an anti-corruption chief, a whistleblower like that, right? And now, we should have expect the Anti-Corruption Commission. This is a national issue. It's about our country's destiny. Those who attempt a bribe, we need to know them. I mean, you cannot really bribe your way to get our constitution passed.
Adi Macaulay to speak more to those allegations and some of the issues you've raised. But let's put a pause on this one and go to political communication. Dr. Masako, you've been teaching mass communication for decades now. How are we doing as a nation on political messaging?
Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm here this morning, and I've just seen that interview by Jagaban. I didn't see it when it was first broadcast, and what I saw was snippets, people taking critical pop shots at the guy, But I think he did a great, I like the interview. I mean, they were trying to talk about his control of grammar, this and that. I don't have any problem with that. I even think we should be speaking some local languages in Parliament. That will enhance contribution. Because some people do. I cover Parliament a lot, and I could point out people who didn't say anything apart from voting. So maybe we should. And just that, again, I'm too scared not to go too far with him. Maybe I'll be unfair to him. I'm not going to be coming here all the time to comment at the back of interviews. But I think around this bill thing that you're talking about, the communication was just all over the place. It was all over the place. And you guys are brilliant communications people. I ask this question, is there anybody in this country anymore who wants objective news? The kind of thing you're trying to do here. Do you have people who want that? Or all of us will just withdrawn to our trenches, red trench, green trench, or blue trench, and all we want is information that satisfies our own desire. So even people like you trying to hold the middle, you're struggling to do that. You're running people are running campaigns. I mean, these things, structure. Infrastructure is very important. My brother here is running a campaign to be the leader of his party. You know, I'll be privileged to say in the end that I was sitting on the same couch in that process. But here's the point. There has to be a structure, messaging, the audience. Once the message goes out, you know, when I listened to Jagaban, he said a few things. His clarity was because the APC took umbrage at him saying that he gave $200,000. But that's not what I understood from what he said there. But there was small clarity. He should have been clear enough. And maybe Umar didn't push that to say, did you actually give the money or is this something you earmarked? That's the thing there. And that led to a press release. And, you know, so when you're doing communication, leave no holes. Leave no holes.
What kind of noise do you think is coming through the communication, again, in the political landscape? Is it lack of clarity from those communicating and proper context of passing on their messages? Or is it just the receivers being distracted by their own perception, opinion, and interpretation? What kind of noise do you think is channeling through?
You know, Phoebe, watch this. I'm from the old school. So I was broadcasting at SLBS when it was the only radio station. So when we say things there, I dreaded reading obituary announcements because you have to pronounce some really strong Creole Nigerian names. And as soon as you finish, there'll be phone calls. They say, who are you? Why did you pronounce that kind of name like that? But today, even here, you have a very solid audience base at AYV. But every day you struggle to hold that base because there are thousands and thousands of people saying things all over the place. Go to IMC. We have more than 200 radio stations right now. At TV stations, people have online media. So the landscape is totally unrecognizable right now. And everybody's saying things. And if we leave it to politicians, like Adi here, we're going to have problems. We have to drag people to the middle in terms of information. Because if I'm a politician, I'm trying to talk to my audience. So they listen to me and take my message. And there are people very clever at doing that right now. These people have never been to media schools, but they can play with the apps. And they understand how to do social media. So they want to hold those audiences. It is for us now, who are in the media space, to make sure that we bring some people to the center. And there is what we provide, what we call objective news. So there's proper and serious analysis of what is happening in the country. You know, every day I spend some time listening to different radios. And I read certain blogs, just a few blogs. So I read Vicky's blog, I read Pete Menjor's blog. Sometimes I read Dr. Blyden's blog. You know, but we need a few more people in that particular space. Because many of these other people blogging, they are blogging for political interests and all of that. It's their business. They are communicating. We are all
but
doing
the polarization
something.
comes in two forms. There's the legacy media itself, where even in that legacy media, the mainstream, there is the green journalists, the red journalists, and those journalists who actually stand to do the work of the people going by the principles of journalism. It's the same thing for the online platforms. It's a problem.
So I know, I mean, this is what I'm saying.
How do we solve the problem?
Okay.
This is where we come to experts like you.
We have
How do we solve the problem before it escalates to something that perhaps can be beyond redemption?
Okay, so there's a regulatory function that the IMC must deal with. For example, I called the executive secretary of the IMC the other day, and I see a lot of online newspapers. People are very clever. They know how to do the layout and design and proper newspapers. Some are conducting themselves like newspapers and all that, but they are not even registered with the IMC. And what the IMC told me was that we've prepared all our papers and they are with the Attorney General and we're waiting for that. So they're not regulated. But you are regulated. I mean, if I say something awful here right now, you'll be held responsible for say. But there has to be a conscious effort. And I don't know if people are going to put money in that. That there are very decent podcasts that you listen to. See them abroad, some countries. I follow the elections in Nigeria a lot. You see podcasters, these are people who've done media, they've retired, but they are there now to hold people to account. They're in the middle. Well, as it is now, it's serious. It's really, really difficult. And I don't know how politicians like Adi copes with this, because people would call every day 10, 15, 20 people wanting to know something. Now you have to make a decision who to talk to. I don't know how much Umar will struggle to get that interview with Jagaban there. You know, his images of I'm up the mountain and I'm looking at the people below. Once you say that, you've opened the way for people who want to attack you to now see this man in the mountain. I thought you were there with the people. You know, these little things and being clarity, you know. But Fabian, you raise a very serious point that in Sierra Leone, there has to be a conscious effort to do something in the middle. To do something in the middle. It's easy, I mean, you get branded, APC, SLPP. This happens all the time. But we have to have people sitting in that middle. And that middle is lost. So sometimes people tell me, but this legacy media owner, they don't die. Bloggers, they don't take over. Haven't you heard that before? They've told me that. I say, okay, that's fine. They're also there, they're doing things. You know, so you could go to some place and see a police officer's vehicle in some place at midnight, and then you take a picture of that and make a story out of that. That he's come here to do this and that. They can do it. You can't do that because you have a discipline of verification. That discipline, you can't do that. You'll have to check, and check. But the guy who's doing this blogging just puts it out there, and there's a whole conversation around that issue. You know, so these are the things. They're not bound by the IMC code. You are bound by it. I mean, hardly people can take a straw man to court. What for? But they can take this AYV to court and bring it down. We have to be careful. I like bloggers. Sometimes I read some of the things they put out. Sometimes what they do is they put out the information, and when a proper journalist comes at that information, you have a big story out of it. All they've done is to highlight and go. So let's think about this. We are moving towards 2028, and communication is going to get even more polarized as we get into 2027. So who's going to occupy that middle ground?
Doc, the problem here is it's the proliferation of sensationalism in the news business these days. And legacy media, a lot of people would argue, is sinking. I'm not sure you believe that from what you've said earlier, but the idea is the gatekeeping concept of journalism fading away?
No, it's not fading. There's no more, hardly any gatekeeping taking place anymore. You know, I don't think, I mean, when you were in college, maybe they taught the theory of the gatekeeper and all of that. These days, when people teach media theories, you have to be careful. Because uses and gratification theory, which you know, is what is happening now. People use the media to gratify their own things. It's like, if you're supporting Manchester United and you cannot win any match, like Umar Fofana, they lose matches all the time. You go to PlayStation and create a situation in which Manchester beats Chelsea 4-0, totally impossible. And you enjoy yourself for a few minutes. You've created your PlayStation or something. This is what is happening in the landscape right now. So people create their own little enjoyment area and they like it. They don't want to hear anything that doesn't gratify their positions. You begin to do that, they say, well, I don't collect money from them politicians, this and that. These people, this guy was taken to CID by Parliament, right? He tried to hold them to account. So the legacy media it's not dying. It's not dying. I'm sure, AYV has I watch this program in the mornings. That doesn't mean I don't read. I've mentioned a few blogs that I read where people take an honest view of what is happening in Sierra Leone. And you read. Sometimes I engage some of these people to say, I like this position, but this one was a little faulty from my opposition. And you have a healthy conversation. We should have people who are willing to have this conversation. We can do podcasting.
is the media's role to amplify or critique what politicians say?
They are our friends. So we report what they do, we critique them. You know, I mean, they provide a lot of the things that you've interviewed politicians this morning. There's another one here. So they are the ones who are running the state. And we are living in the state of Sierra Leone. They have control over budgets and things. So we come after them. They say things and we question them. Because, I mean, if you close this space and there's no media, you're left to the politicians, there'll be trouble. You know, so even when we go shining the light on them, they're still able to do things, to manipulate. So we should shine more light. I like it when many people are saying many things. But what the politicians are doing right now, and you should watch this, a lot of them are reporting their own stories. You know that? A little bit like Donald Trump. The blog he puts out daily, the journalists there, he calls them fake news. I don't want to deal with you. But no, he grants interviews all over the place. All over the place. On the plane, on the tarmac, he talks to people and then he puts out his blogs. Here, locally, all politicians are putting out their own reports. Today I was here and I did this, I did that. People responded this way. But it is what we do with what they put there in terms of taking it forward. And there's a dangerous thing happening now. When somebody like Fatuma issues a press release, for example, you will see, you know what to do with a press release. I mean, this is not journalism classroom, but every journalist knows when the press release lands on your table, what to do with it. But see what they are doing now in the media space. They'll just take that press release, clip it there, and make small comment, and that's it. No, you've not done any journalism there. So this guy succeeds by just putting out the press release, and then you go and run it for him. Also, that's what you do. Well, we should be doing more than that. These people know what to do. We should take that press release that you've put in. Just fact-checking. You know, when Jagaban did that interview, a lot of fact-checking took place. There are people who are sitting there. This is their job now. All of that is good. But we have to go beyond that. Push the boundaries of accountability way beyond where we are now.
I know Dr. Swart had argued in his PhD thesis that the media is not poor, it's being mismanaged. Do you think funding is a big problem?
Well, funding is a problem, but it's a challenge, a serious challenge, but there's a lot that can be done. You see, why do we have, for example, 100 newspapers? Why? What are we doing with that? So they all produce 10, 12 pages. So I'm also a part owner of a newspaper, and sometimes we sit back and, what is this? So why don't we create big centers, 10 guys come together and create a very solid paper that somebody can put on the plane and take it abroad? It's not there, everybody. So, I mean, is a reporter today, in 6 months' time, is an editor. The IMC law allows that, and then we have all these people saying things. And then we're chasing advertising. Who gives the advertising? The greatest advertisers are who? GOSL, the government of Sierra Leone. And if I'm the government of Sierra Leone, to be honest, I'm going to use that advertising as a tool of manipulation.
They did that.
Well, I don't know. But I will do that. Because you want my money.
They did that.
So you have to help me with my information. Okay. So these are all the challenges. I mean, here, see how far you guys have gone here in terms of holding your ground. I'm sure you have challenges here, starting with electricity and all of that. It's not easy to run something like this. It's not easy to run these newspapers, you see. They have to pay rents and all of that. Some of those rents come from some pockets, political pockets. How are you going to tell that person to hold that man accountable?
Look, we'll get back to you. Adi, what do you hope to get from this? Let's be concrete.
Firstly, there is quite a lot that has been said by Mr. Fatoma and Doc here. So there's quite a few things that needs unpacking here.
You want to address what?
Yes, I'm going to address it. And he said quite a few things that are very, very much important.
Okay.
And usually I find it very difficult. Like, you come to the studio and when you look at you know, television stations like BBC, CNN, and Sky News, they have their legal department. When matters of this nature come up, their legal department will look at the law, the precedent, everything, and give them a position. So when you come to their studio, they have what they are going to pin you down to. But what I notice is that you go to the stations, you want to put down your viewpoints on the law, they will tell you what someone else has said, what ABC, and in fact they reinforce the argument that, oh, there is a lacuna in the law. There are so many different interpretations. Sometimes it's been lazy journalism, if I must say, and I'm not casting aspersions on anyone. And I also agree with you. There is quite a lot that we, the politicians, are doing. If you notice, I come to this studio, probably in the past 6 months, I've been here like 6, 7 times. I go to other studios because I come here, I want to pass my message. Not only pass my message, to also give citizens, the audience, the opportunity to challenge what I have said in real time, so I can respond to what they have said. Or by just putting out blogs or getting bloggers to pass on your information, you're not making yourself accessible. And for me, it's about the content of your politics that really matters. It goes beyond the things you give to people, the money, the school fees paying, hospital medical bills. It goes beyond that. You come out here to say, this is my vision. What do I want to do about education? What do I want to do about electricity, health, many other things? So I encourage my colleague politicians to make themselves available, come to the stations, television and radio, make yourself accessible. Be challenged, because don't forget, when you eventually become the flag bearer of your party or the president, you cannot continue to duck and dive, hide. No, you cannot. You have to face the people that you want to lead. So for me, that is the point. And also you asked a question about whether there is money in media and whether there is poverty. I don't think there is poverty. I wrote an article.
You think the media is rich?
I think that it's how you harness it to make money.
Okay.
It's how you harness it to make money. Take, for example, I wrote an article last week on whether or not the Speaker of Parliament is beyond judicial accountability. I saw some people published it, some carried it in their news blogs, but quite a few of the journalists I sent it to decided to ignore it. Why? I don't know, but this is content which is very interesting. It's not my personal opinion. What I made sure is to make sure that I put what the Constitution says, what decided cases have said, and I reached a conclusion based on that. So these are the things. These are human interest stories. But coming to what my brother here said, quite a lot has happened. Where did it start? It starts from Section 108. Section 108 tells you that for you to be able to alter the Constitution, amend it, you need 2/3 support of the members of Parliament. Who are the members of Parliament they are talking about here? Let's just go to Section 74 of the Constitution. Section 74 of the Constitution. Section 74 of the Constitution tells you that members of Parliament are those members of Parliament that were elected under the processes of this Constitution. And this includes the paramount chiefs. So it tells you that members of Parliament are all members of Parliament that have been duly elected, which is 149. So when you go back to Section 108, it tells you about members of the House of Parliament. So these are the members. Again, people seek to obfuscate the argument just to hide what is the elephant in the room.
So,
the elephant in the room is the interpretation.
So
that has
ultimately, Adi, from what transpired in Parliament there, the Speaker, obviously backed by the SLPP side, relied on 91, which is talking about the voting in Parliament. And the APC side, obviously, is relying on 108, which is talking about how you would have to amend the Constitution, alterations to the Constitution. Why justify why 108(2)B stands as opposed to 91, which Speaker is banking on?
91 tells you that except there is any, subject to any other provision of this Constitution, it says subject to, meaning that provided there is no other provision to the Constitution that is contrary to this, if you want to decide on matters in the well of Parliament, you go by simple majority. It says subject to, and you go to section 108. Section 108 is what subject to means in section 91. Section 180, notwithstanding, this is my own emphasis, what 91 says, for the purposes of altering the Constitution, you need 2/3 majority. And let's forget about the Constitution. Let us come to what the Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Sengeport Thomas, my colleague of long standing as a lawyer, said in Parliament during the hearing on the vote of Lara Taylor Pierce. When you look at section 137, subsection 7 of the Constitution, it gives you the procedure that has to be gone through to remove the Auditor General. It says that after the report of the Commission is presented to the House of Parliament, for the Auditor General to be removed, it needs the support of not less than 2/3 majority in Parliament. So what the Honorable Speaker cleverly did was that he made a distinction between the two propositions, in Parliament and off Parliament. He said wherever you see in, it means it is people present in Parliament and voting. So for the purposes of section 137, subsection 7, it tells you it is the people in Parliament. Whereas in section 108, he said it is the totality of the parliamentary threshold elected. So let me say this in clue. Don't forget about what the Constitution say. Now we hold Sengeport Thomas to what he say during the Lara Taylor Pierce matter. What he said there was that if the Constitution used the word in, now the one they read inside Parliament, now they forget 2/3 majority. USA use off. That now the totality of the people the way they elect, as long as you are still a member of Parliament, whether you are in a sick bed, you are in your home, or you are in the world of Parliament, you are counted.
So the Speaker also, upon declaring that the bill has now been passed, said he would rely on the Supreme Court's opinion within 3 months. While he says that, also, so Section 124 of the 1991 Constitution says it grants the Supreme Court original jurisdiction regarding the interpretation and enforcement of constitutional provisions, as well as determining whether any enactment was made in excess of conferred legal powers. But also, going to the Facebook page of Parliament itself, they're insisting that the court does not have the power to overturn what the Speaker did.
I agree with what my brother
How
here.
is 124 applicable in this situation?
Okay, first of all, there are two sections in the Constitution that deal directly with the judiciary having control over whether or not the powers conferred under the Constitution have been exceeded. Section 124, subsection 1A and B, tells you that the Supreme Court has the original jurisdiction, 1, to interpret the Constitution, and 2, to determine whether or not, 1, to interpret the Constitution, and 2, to enforce the Constitution. And on the B, 24(1)B, it tells you that where there is an issue whether or not powers under the Constitution have been exceeded, it is the Supreme Court that has the right to look at that. But let me just take you to another very important section, which basically deals with the very, very, very issue which people or some members of parliament are saying that parliament is beyond reproach. Like you said, we need, not because you are a parliamentarian does not mean you don't need further education. Let me just refer you to 171, subsection 13 of the Sierra Leone Constitution. It says, no provision of this Constitution that any person or authority shall not be subject to the direction or control of any other person or authority in exercising any function under this Constitution shall be construed to as precluding the court from exercising jurisdiction in relation to any question whether the person or authority has performed those functions in accordance with the Constitution or any other law. So let me just say this in Creole for the benefit of our people. What section 107, subsection 13 of the Constitution says is this. It says, if there is any other section of this Constitution where say nobody not they under the control or direction of any other person or authority, it not mean say when it comes to the court subject to that one, meaning that the court can look into them as far as whether or not that person they don't go beyond the powers the way the Constitution gives. So what we are saying here is that section 94 subsection 2, which members of parliament on the SLPP side and some legal practitioners are anchoring on in saying that what the Speaker of Parliament has done is not subject to judicial inquiry. It's just plainly wrong on all fours. Section 171, subsection 13, has said that where there is any other provision in this Constitution that says that no person or authority is under the control or direction of any other person shall not include proscribing the judiciary, the court, from looking into whether or not that person or authority has exceeded their powers under the Constitution. And when it comes to decided case law, I will refer you to the case of the APC and 5 others versus the Speaker of Parliament and the Attorney General. What happened it was during the Tijan Kaba presidency. About 6 members of Parliament, including Dr. John Karifa-Smart, Eddie Touré, Seri Kamal, Victor Fo, Django Stevens, and Dr. S. Stevens. Their seats were vacated by Parliament on the basis that they were absent. When you look at sections, Standing Order 77-2E of the Standing Orders of Parliament, it tells you that if you are absent in Parliament for more than 30 days, which goes in tandem with section 77, subsection E of the 1991 Constitution, then you can be removed. But what the Standing Order 77 says that there should be an ad hoc committee to determine this, and the Speaker shall chair. But what happened then was the Speaker was not brought into the committee. Instead, it was a member of Parliament of the SLPP called Guy Valebo that chaired that particular ad hoc committee, and they concluded that these people have absented themselves from Parliament for a period more than 30 days cumulatively and should be removed. That report was put before the House of Parliament. It was adopted, and the Speaker of Parliament declared those seats vacant by reason of absenteeism. So Saeed Kamal, a very clever politician and lawyer, went to court, to the High Court, and asked for an order of certiorari, saying that the committee that investigated them was not properly constituted, and as such, whatever decision they arrive at is null and void ab initio. The High Court, relying on section 94, subsection 2, which says that the court cannot look into the practices and procedures of Parliament, said, oh no, me, I'm not going to look at this because section 94 will not for put one day. So what Saeed Kamal did was to appeal to the Court of Appeal. And there were 3 judges in the panel, right? Justice Abel Strong, Justice Tola Thompson, and Justice Patricia Macaulay. it was Justice Tola Thompson that presided. They came to the conclusion that you cannot use parliamentary immunity to disobey the law. It says, they said that it is the court that determines where parliamentary privileges start, where they end. And they concluded and gave an order that the appellant should be given leave to issue a writ of certiorari to quash the decision of the House of Parliament. And they did. And all those members of Parliament that were expelled from Parliament went back and reoccupied their seats. So to say that...
Adi, we're out of time, so we need to round off this conversation.
Yes, let me just...
But as we round off, there's a very important aspect that Fatoma had raised up, that the opposition leader in Parliament, Abdul, raised. A lot of allegations there on corruption. That's alleged attempted bribe. You were once anti-corruption commissioner. What's the APC going to do about this? Is it just going to remain...
So basically, it is not the APC that has any obligation to do anything about it. When you look at the Anti-Corruption Act, Section 7, it tells you that the ACC has an obligation to look at any act of corruption that is reported or is observed or that comes to the knowledge of the ACC. And I'm sure that this has come to the knowledge of the ACC. Section 28 of the Anti-Corruption Act makes it an offense for anyone to offer, solicit, or accept a bribe. So there have been an allegation of offering a bribe. I think the ACC has something to do there. But again, Phoebe, let me just deal with one thing that Fatoma said. When you look at Section 13, when you look at Section 13 of the Constitution, 13I, it says every citizen has the right to participate and defend democratic practices and processes. And you go further to Section 127 of the Constitution. It tells you that as a citizen, if you think there is anything that has been done with the Constitution, there has been a breach of the Constitution, you have the right on your own to go to court. So I want to say this to Sierra Leone and them. Then we left for harbor politicians them, for enforce we right as citizens under the Constitution. Let we self they take upon we self for challenge some of these things. And you know, people should not wait for lawyers like myself, Chukwuemeka Taylor, or Emmanuel Safabulai to tell them what the law is. I am not a chemical engineer, but I have read in books that when you mix white paint and black paint, it gives you gray. If you put more of white, you get a lighter shade of gray. You put more of black, you get a darker shade of gray. I don't need a chemical engineer to tell me that. I've read it in the books, and I will not ask them. I will just follow what the books have said. So let us stop relying on lawyers to come and tell your politician what the Constitution says. Buy the Constitution, read it, look at it. You will understand what it says without me telling you what it says.
Right. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time with us this morning. Unfortunately, this is all time would permit us to get. So this is where we would have to end today's edition of the program, Wake Up Sierra Leone. We say thanks to our guests for their time. Thanks to our sponsor, Wakeup Commercial Bank, and all the advertisers supporting Wake Up Sierra Leone and AYV Media Empire generally. We've been your presenters. I am Phoebe, and we'll have a lovely day and a productive week.
And I'm Victor Jones. Please stay tuned to the Africa Young Voices throughout the day. There are other programs coming up. Till we meet again tomorrow, take care of yourselves, and remember to show kindness always if you can.
AYV Television.
You just don't come. Yes? Say you just don't come for save and win big. A call to business service and loans, what they can call ACTB Bank. Don't bring the ACTB Save and Win Babala promotion, where they start from July 14, 2026, so to January 31st next year, 2027.
All you get for do now for just save 10,000 loans every month and qualify for the monthly raffle draw. Also, you will get the chance for refined prize them like microwave, DSTV set, mobile phone, freezer, plasma television, gas cooker, and plenty other things then.
And not tap though. If you grow your savings to 60,000 by December 31st this year, you will qualify for take part inside the grand draw. Usai, you will stand the chance for drive away with the grand prize. With a one brand new CS55 Plus G. With a one drive it. Yes, you hear me? One brand new CS55 Plus G.
For making you not go miss this chance for win all them big prize in Yaso, now for us go open account 110 if you never open a 8. If you already get account with ACTB Bank, then you already get advantage. Just continue for save at least 10,000 euros every month and qualify for the monthly draw then and the grand draw.
For more information for this promotion, now for call the ACTB contact